Let's do some yoga moving, mindful movement. My teacher, who's been teaching in Seattle for 40 years, 30 years at least, she's really transformed her idea of doing yoga. As she's really almost not wanting to call it yoga anymore. She just likes to call it movement, a mindful movement, or some version of that. And certainly anybody who's taken yoga and comes to these classes may experience it more as a mindful movement than what they might have recognized in a studio. But I think whatever it is, it's trying to blend the attention with the body, with the feelings, and intermix all those things. So as I'm talking, I'm going to start moving. And if you can rock left to right on your sitting bones, and try and give yourself a little pause on one side and then the other, just to develop some control, an aspect of agency over this shifting, instead of too much momentum for now. And as you go to the left, can you actually take your, lean left. Take your right hand and just see if there's any gap that you can create with, and since, we just want to see if it's a possibility to lift the right sitting bone off the chair completely, and then lean left and check that there's a left sitting, or lean right, rather, and check that the left sitting bone can rock off the chair. So I'm just looking for a tactile, whatever kind of tactile awareness you can build of your sitting bones and how you might, so you might also now, as you lean left and right, put your hands on your waist and see what muscles lift the left sitting bone and the right sitting bone, if that's possible. And it's more than just a lean, it's an engagement of those muscles. So if your hands are on your waist, your thumbs might feel those strong muscles in the back that support you, stabilize you, and shift their engagements as you go left and right. Good. And then let's actually take our arms and add a little effort of reaching, or a little encouragement to lean more so by reaching out. When you lean left, you reach left. When you lean right, you reach right. And try and get so much, not so much that you're going to fall off the chair, but enough that you really feel a stretch happening. Really reach strong there, Sue. I see your arms could reach stronger and longer. Yes, yes, straighter and longer. Reach way out with that right arm. Good. Very good. And take both arms wide, keep them wide, and shift your weight left and right. See if you can float the arms even just above the shoulders. Just above the shoulders, yes, good. Straight, and palms face up to the ceiling, palms facing up. Good, as we lean left now, can we dial the left arm up? And then as we lean right, dial the right arm up. So in this way, we're actually encouraging a side bend right as we lean left, and a side bend left as we reach right, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't, don't worry about it too much. Awesome. Try a couple more of those if you're stable enough and your low back feels safe here. Pause on your right lift here, your right ribs reaching, right arm up. Can you even take a left hand on your thigh, or left hand even reaching, if it's available, left hand reaches off to the right as you lift the right side. Yeah. And then switch. It's like a cyclone here of the arms. The right arm reaches down to the left arm reaches high. As long as your low back feels safe, we're lifting the left ribs and cycloning those arms. Good. Take your arms wide, sit upright, take your arms back and lean forward now. So you're diving out over your legs. Great. Sit up and wrap yourself up in your arms. Turn your chest left and right. Keep yourself wrapped up in your arms and bow to your knees and back up. Back and forth there. Bowing to your knees. Maybe your knees and elbows reach each other, and maybe they don't. Don't feel required to look at me as you go down to your knees. Try and touch your knees and touch them with your elbows. Look at them as you're bowing. So notice now where your eyes are going. And then widen your arms again. We'll do a little sitting up, wide arms, and lean forward again. Pull your arms back, heart lifting, feet are solid on the ground. Reach your heart across the room more than down to the floor, but across, out, meaning, and that across is, I'm trying to help you engage the long muscles along the back to lengthen your spine forward, whereas a forward bend could leave your back rounded, right? So we're trying to lengthen, and then sit up, see if you can cross the opposite arm on top. So whatever non-instinctive arm goes over the other arm. Turn your chest a little left and right, just a little, doesn't have to be extreme swivels. And then face forward, bow, and see if you can, again, touch your elbows to your knees and sit back up. We'll add a second component to this now. So turn, bow, and see if you can touch just your elbows to your outer left knee or right or whatever, and then sit up, turn, stay in the turn as you bow to the outer right knee and back up. So a little twisting, bowing, and hugging your belly into your back the entire time to really stabilize that low back. Keep it safe. Good. Finish with the second side, whatever that was for you. Sit up, fly your arms wide. Stay upright. Your spine will stay largely in place as you dial your left arm up and right arm down. So not leaning right, just staying tall. Good. And dial your arms again, left arm down, right arm up. Excellent. Now we're going to scissor our arms forward. So you'll take them forward and pass them beyond each other and reach them high. And even behind you, I'll just turn to the side to emphasize this. Pull back and then scissor your arms forward and pull back with the arms. Scissor your arms forward, pull back. One high, one low. Excellent. Scissor forward, pull back. You're staying facing forward, just working the shoulders there. Feel free to clap your hands between the two. See if you can get a clap going. Good. Clap. I can't hear it, of course. No one can hear it, but whoever's in your room. Give it one more on each side. Excellent. Go wide to the sides. Drop your arms. Shrug your shoulders out. Shrug your shoulders the other way. Now we're going to rotate as we sweep our arms forward. So you're going to, it's like you're walking your arms like this. Yeah. So start with just a walking action. Your arm's not going up higher than your shoulders, but try to get them as high as the shoulders, especially the back arm. Notice my back arm trying to get as high as my front. There may be compensation trying to happen by leaning forward to get your arm up higher. Try not to do so. Just let the shoulder be true and honest, whatever the arm can do in the back. Yeah. But as you now sweep your left arm forward, right arm back, turn your chest. And palms are both facing out to the right as you're turning. Or did I say right or left? I don't know, whatever it is. Left arm forward, turning chest right. And then swing your arms like you're walking until you're turned to the left. Your left arm is back, your palms facing out, meaning your shoulder blades are rolling down your back a little. This way we're getting an external rotation of the arms. Swing your arms and turn to the right, palms facing out. Swing your arms, turn to the left, palms facing out. Give it one more time, turn to the right, back arm as high as the front arm. Good. Turn to the left, back arm as high as the front arm. Turn back to the center, shrug your shoulders out. Wow, the sun is really making my legs glow here. This is like I'm just becoming light, I guess. I don't know. Step your feet out wide to the sides. Rock your heels and toes. Some of you may have noticed the odd socks I have. They are little Santa Clauses with sunglasses, I think. Not sure. But I got them in the Christmas season, so I'm thinking they're Santa Clauses. I figured they would suit the the summer Santa Claus mid-year. Go up to your tiptoes and stay on your tiptoes. Sit up tall, explore, bringing your arms up also, still on tiptoes. Activate your hamstrings underneath your legs. Can you pull your toes towards your chair? Activate those muscles on the inner thighs. Arms are still up. Activate like you're pushing your elbows into countertops. So you're not moving your elbows down, but you're activating the muscles as though there's resistance under your elbows. Push down with the elbows, lift up with the knees. Squeeze like there's beach balls between your elbows and your knees that you're squeezing, trying to deflate. Good, release your hands, feet back to center, wag your knees in and out. And then extend one leg and the other back and forth, trying to release those muscles in the knees and calves and thighs and hamstrings. And pause with one leg out there, circle your ankle. Step it down, pause with the other leg out, circle your ankle. Step it down, wag your knees wide and narrow. Good. Step your feet just neutrally wide so you're stable, and make sure your feet are under your knees or a little even forward of your knees, but not behind your knees. So feet are solid on the ground. You know? Take your arms wide, sitting up. Just like we're going to close an accordion, sitting up nice and tall, just close an accordion in front of you, palms touching. Good. Relax your elbows, relax your shoulders. Consider relaxing the base of the skull up. Consider there's a possibility of having a floating of the back of the neck, floating of the head on the spine, rather than a collapsing, but also not a reaching. So somewhere between reaching and collapsing is a floating possibility here. Can you close your eyes and tune into that subtlety? Notice what all moves in your body when you breathe. Notice what kind of energies come in with your breath or leave with your breath. Notice the space between the inhale and the exhale. And similarly, between the exhale and the inhale, there's a beat that changes, that flips the energy. I'm going to invite you to elongate that beat. So you pause a little longer between inhale and exhale. Just a beat, and a little longer between the exhale and inhale. Or maybe it's 2 beats, whatever you want to call it. You're not holding your breath. You're just pausing a little between the inhale and exhale and the exhale and the inhale. Notice what that does to your nervous system, how your mind may go with that, or maybe there's subtle anxiety that comes up with controlling your breath, which is fine. Don't go so far that you get anxious, but just to notice these subtle energies, differences between inhale, exhale, the beat between the two on either end. Consider something to dedicate your practice to that brings love or awe or gratitude into your life, or some combination of all three. dedicate your practice to that, which drives this spirit of ours. And we'll chant 3 ohms. Inhale. Before you open your eyes, take a deep inhale through your nose. Maybe there's a beat at the top of that inhale before you exhale. Whenever you're ready, exhale through your mouth. Maybe there's a beat at the bottom of that exhale before you inhale. Inhale again through your nose. Maybe elongate that beat. Maybe there's 2 or 3 beats before you exhale. Once you've exhaled again, maybe there's 2 or 3 beats before you inhale. If you like, hold your breath at the top of this inhale or your next one, whatever it is, for as long as feels interesting. Doesn't have to be strain, but maybe there's some space in there that's interesting. Nobody pass out, please. When you're ready, exhale. Maybe you hold the breath out again, as long as it's interesting. Release your hands and open your eyes. Please breathe normally if you're not yet. Actually, we're gonna do some hand stuff here. So interlace your fingers and roll your wrists. So the breath practice is super foundational to yoga and to what I consider the best conduit to get your attention into your body. You know, moving our bodies is one way, but our breath is always accessible, even if there's problems or issues or whatever you want to call it with your body being able to move in certain ways. But your breath is something you can take over anytime. So it's really a practice of regulating your nervous system or learning to play with your nervous system as you breathe. You'll find out different things about your nervous system. Let's go wide with our elbows, our interlaced fingers, and push our palms forward and turn our chest left and right. So Pete, maybe I'll bring you, I'm not sure how you're doing there, Pete, but can you still hear me? Yeah, good. And it's fine that you take a break. That's fine too, of course. I just want to check in. Now, can we take our backs of our hands to our heart and turn and then push out? And then the backs of your hands to your heart, turn the other way and push out. And back and forth a few times here, like you're, this is metaphor of pushing your heart out into the world, pushing out love into the world that you have. Come back to the center and roll your wrists around in circles, your fingers fanned out. Make sure you're breathing nice and long and deep. Circle your wrists the other way, fingers are fanned. Good. Take your palms like you're going to push over pillars, push straight out to the sides and back to your shoulders, back and forth. And then can we coordinate our breath? Our exhale brings our hands in, our inhale pushes our hands out. This is inhale, here's exhale. Inhale, push. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, push. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, push. Exhale, draw in. One more, inhale, push out. Exhale, draw in. Now we're gonna push forward. Inhale, push. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, push forward. Exhale, draw in. See if you can get your elbows behind you. Inhale, push. Exhale, draw elbows back. Inhale, push. Exhale, draw back and stay here. Lifting your heart, breathing whatever amount you need to, yeah? So sometimes that breath practice, different paces will cause different amount of dizziness or whatever for different people. So your breath and your lungs or your own capacities will may not want to be the rhythm that I'm asking, and that's fine. So make sure you take breaks if you need to. Let's push straight down and stay pushing down as you're like, imagine you're on parallel bars, pushing down to lift your heart. In fact, let's try our forearms on imaginary countertops or parallel bars. Draw your elbows into your ribs and push down with your elbows. Your forearms pushing down to lift your heart. Good. Straighten your arms back. Push your palms up to the ceiling behind you. Lift your heart still. Sweep your hands forward now and take your hands just to your knees. Lift and round your back gently now, because we just did a bunch of squeezing of our low back. So it may take a moment to get the rounding safely into the back as much as we just did the arching. So back and forth here a few times of cat-cow. Take your time. Inhale though, traditionally the inhale would lift your heart, the exhale would round your back and hug your belly in. Close your eyes, do 5 rounds with your eyes closed and your attention on that breath, nice and even breath, inhaling when you lift your heart, exhaling when you round your back and dive your head down. No pace other than your own. Again, you could take a beat at the top of every inhale or the bottom of every exhale, if you like, or whatever ones are left. When you go to the rounded position, after about those 5, maybe we're done there, go ahead and lean back against the back of the chair, scoot your butt forward on the chair, grab onto your chair and march your knees. And if you're already ready for this pumping, passing Santa Claus in the middle, go ahead and pass your Santa Claus feet in the middle. Release that. Go wide with your legs, wide with your arms, lean back, open up. Get those shoulders nice and open and even squeezing shoulder blades together in your back to open your collarbones. Hug your belly into your low back. Imagine your spine, the muscles around the spine, along the length of the spine on either side, squeezing towards each other. Release your hands. Put your feet on the floor. Push your way upright. Put your hands on the chair. Shrug your shoulders back, lift your heart, push into your chair. If your feet are forward enough, your knees, you may not necessarily get your pelvis up, but if your pelvis comes up, keep your feet a little forward of the chair. Go ahead and go back and forth, either lifting your pelvis if it's available, or if it's not available, still pushing strong into your arms and dropping back down, pushing strong into your arms and releasing. Try to, you're welcome to use more leg, right? So your legs can help you get your pelvis up as much as your arms. Do not hurt your shoulders doing this. And everyone's chair is going to be different along with everyone's body. So I'm asking you to take a certain amount of care, but also go into some challenge. Take your hands to your knees, lengthen your spine. Let's just lay elbows on knees for a moment and rest in a elbows on knees position. Turn your eyes to the ground, sway your head left and right on like you're sort of sweeping a align with your nose, left and right, looking at the ground. Sit up. Send your arms forward and really dome out your back. So I've described it a little in the past this way. This is not a forward bend. In fact, this is somewhat of a, this is like a leaning back, but a rounding forward, both at the same time. So your pelvis is leaning back, but your arms are reaching forward. If we stay here, you might find more and more possible stretch here as you try and scoop your tailbone between your legs. And you reach, reach, reach forward. And then rest against the back of your chair. Again, march your legs. Your hands could just rest on your belly if you like, but again, make sure you're reclined in your chair as much as you can be. And we'll start with bicycling the right leg now. So the right leg bicycling in front of you. Again, your hands wherever's safe. Some people would prefer their hands behind their head. That's fine too. Bicycle backwards with this right leg. Hands wherever they're safe or challenging for you, but do consider this your opportunity to challenge yourself for the day. Drop that leg, lift your left leg, bicycle it, wherever your hands are. I'm just gonna move my hands around. You guys choose, right? I got the squeaky chair today. Go the other way with that bicycling. Again, making sure you're stable on the chair and finding a good challenge at the same time. So I'm bicycling backwards, give it one more backwards bicycle. With this side, we're gonna extend the left leg and sweep it left and right. Again, your hands can be behind your head, reaching back, or hands on the chair. If you can, reach back, if that feels stable enough. Not so you'll fall out of the chair, but so we'll get this long extension. Good, sweep your leg to the right. So your left leg goes right, side bend to the right with your chest. Hands can be behind your head, reaching back behind you, or even just on your chest. Shoulders, all mostly dependent on your shoulders and the sense of stability in your neck and spine. Great, sweep your left leg out wide to the left, do a little side bend to the left. Same, the right foot's really solid on the floor. Make sure that breath is central pillar. So the practice, bring the left knee up, grab behind the thigh, clasp your hands underneath your leg and extend and bend your left leg right there in front of you. Great, Pat, yep. If it is available, make sure you're reclined anymore on your chair. That's it, Sue, a little bit adjustment there, that's good. Go extending your left leg, point and flex your foot. Nice deep breath. In fact, clear the lungs, empty the lungs out completely, whatever that would be, and inhale through your nose nice and deep. And one more. And inhale. Bend that knee, grab onto your knee in front, sweep the knee left and right. Pull your left knee wide with your left hand, take your right arm wide, open up your chest, lean back against the chair. Circle your left ankle. As you're circling your left ankle, make a fist with your right hand and open it wide, and fist and open wide, back and forth. So even if you can't see my right hand, can you, not always follow what I'm doing visually, but do, if you can hear me, hopefully, you can at least get one of those cues, like visual or audio. Good. Circle your ankle the other way. Keep your hand opening and closing in the right side. Great. Grab your leg from the other side. Your right hand pulls the left knee across. Your left arm goes out wide. Point and flex your left ankle. Circle your left wrist. Try not to circle your left ankle. Try not to point and flex your left wrist. Circle your left wrist the other way. Now, just like your left palm is pushing on a wall, push your left palm onto the wall, pull your left knee up to your right shoulder, turn your chest and push that left palm into the wall any further. Lean even to the left and push out without falling out of the chair, of course. Push out. Engage those muscles like you're pushing into a wall. Excellent. Come back to center, grab this left knee, go wide and turn it externally. Rock your shin left and right before we place that foot on the knee. Place your left ankle on your right knee. Let your left knee fall open. Take a few breaths. You could sit up if you like, or not. Check that there are not extra tensions in your body. Jaw, neck, shoulders. Where does tension tend to build up, or where does constriction happen when you have discomfort, whether it's physical or emotional or mental? Where does that tension go in the body? The body is, in my view, my body is always physically expressing whatever thought I'm having. It's somewhere also in my body. So if you're having thoughts, they are causing physical something. And we don't have to, there's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing to try and solve about that except to notice, and notice we can change our thoughts if we decide, oh, my neck gets this way, but also when I get this way, my thoughts stay in this place. If I relax my neck, my thoughts might have some freedom to go somewhere else. Right? So changing your physical stature may change your mental stature. If that's the right word. Give it 2 or 3 more breaths. Can you, again, notice the beats between the inhale and exhale, and the exhale and the inhale, and maybe elongate them if you like. Very good. When you're ready, uncross your left leg down to the floor, wag your knees in and out. We'll do one more thing. Step your left leg out wide to the side. Extend your left leg, pulling your toes back. Walk your right knee off wide to the side. Get tall in your spine. Take your left arm up along your ear. Reach tall. Good. Face me now. Face your chest to me. Square. Good. Good, good. Now lean forward, still facing me. Put your right elbow on your knee, but keep your chest facing forward rather than down to the floor. Face straight forward. Turn your heart, roll your left shoulder back if you can, or left ribs back. Try and turn your heart open as you're pushing your right elbow into your knee. Stay stable on that right knee, even keeping your right foot pushing down into the floor. Lengthen that left arm long, good. Take a big circle of the left arm, whatever direction you choose is fine. Circle that left arm way out in front of you, way up high to the sky. Do 3 circles this way. Whatever you chose, don't even look at me, just 3 big circles with your left arm, turning your heart with the arm. Your eyes may look at the fingertips. Of course, you can look at me if you're confused by my direction, but hopefully that's enough to give you some movement. Go ahead and sit up. Step your left foot back to the center. Once you're sitting back upright, circle your chest around over your hips with your feet to center. And go the other way. Sit up tall, widen your arms to the sides, feet are solid on the floor. Send your arms forward and round out your back and duck your belly into your back and get real concave or compressed in the front body to the back body. Explore, without leaning against the back of the chair, how much more stretch you can invite into the back body. Or so, like, say, imagine there was your forehead, there's apparently there is a fascial line or even a fascial sheet between your forehead, over the top of your head, down the back of your neck, down your shoulders, down the back shoulders, all the way to your sitting bones, to your heels. And we're trying to elongate that line by stretching it. Go ahead and lean against the back of your chair, hands on your belly, march your knees. And then wherever you want your hands, make sure you're reclined, bicycle your right leg. Good, and backwards bicycling. We're going this way. Couple more. Getting heat there. Again, your hands could have been wherever they were before, but it doesn't matter too much. I mean, in the sense it matters. I don't want it to be too extreme. Extend your right leg. If your hands were back or even reaching back, you could do this at least at this point. Just an exploration of steadying yourself, reaching back as you sweep your right leg left and right. Yeah, and if this reaching arms back doesn't stabilize you enough, the hands can be on the chair, behind your head, what suits. Right, so we're sweeping the right leg left and right. Can we sweep it to the left and side bend left? Right, arms are either straight or clasped or on the heart. Maybe I'm giving you too many options. Big open reach. Now your right foot's reaching left for a moment. Good, sweep your right leg to the right. Arc your chest off to the right as well. Your arms reaching right, your right leg reaching right, your left foot still the solid thing on the ground that's helping stabilize you. Side bending to the right. Lean back a little more, open your heart more to the ceiling or to the sky. Good, come back to center, draw your right knee up, clasp your hands directly under the thigh, clasp behind your leg, extend and bend your right leg there, holding your leg with your hands. So strengthening those hands and shoulders and arms a little bit by holding this leg up. Engaging at least in the hands, getting those muscles in your arms helping. At any time, heavy sighs. When you extend the next time, extend and hold out there and point and flex your foot. Notice if your jaw is gripping or something else. Maybe that energy could be used in a more useful place than in your jaw. Circle your ankle. Bend your knee, grab your right knee with your right hand, pull it out wide as you can. Lift your heart, send your left arm out wide to the side. Good. Circle your right ankle and open and close your left palm in a fist and wide, fist and wide. Right ankle circling, left palm opening and closing. Breathing. Circle your left ankle right ankle the other way as your left hand opens and closes. And pull your knee up any higher. Try and get a little more stretch in that hip, wide and high. Great. Switch the cross. Hold the knee with your left hand. Reach your right arm out wide. Point and flex your right ankle. Circle your right wrist. Try not to circle your ankle. Circle your right wrist the other way. Still pointing and flexing. Then just take your right palm, push it out as far as you can to the right as you're pulling your right knee in. So you're trying to turn your chest and even engage the muscles that would push against a wall on the right side as you're pulling your right knee to your left shoulder and your left shoulder twisting towards your right knee. Good, come back to center, turn that right knee wide, grab maybe the ankle from the front, rock your right knee left and right here, holding your shin. Cross your right ankle on your left knee. Let your right knee fall open. Sit up. Do the pose here that you're available to today. As always, the knee will be more stable if you flex your right ankle. So if you have knee stuff, you want to be attentive to that. If that still isn't stabilizing your knee, notice that, please. It's important that you don't strain the knee. I feel like, you know, we only have so much knee for a lifetime, and then you gotta, maybe some people's knees run out of knee before, and you have to get new ones, but you want to prolong that as long as you can. So we don't want to damage the knees any more than we we ever have to or need to or whatever. There shouldn't ever be a have to. But it's no judgment on character, whether your knees are needing more care. Let's be here for 3 more breaths. And again, notice the beats between inhale and exhale. So we're practicing putting our mind on something. That's also a huge part of this, is just pointed focus, even on something as boring as might seem like the breath. In fact, it's not boring if you spend time with it, hopefully. When you feel about done on that side, same feeling on that side, or similar amount of time at least, step your feet to the floor, wag your knees in and out. And the one more thing, step your right foot out wide to the side, and then extend, straightening the leg, pulling your toes back. Try and get this in the light, yep. Inch your left knee off to the side. Get tall in your spine, stay tall. Left foot is a nice solid pedestal for you. The right leg is just reaching as far as it can without destabilizing you. Get tall in your spine, take your right arm straight up, stay facing me here, straight on. Nice and tall, reaching the right arm up. Shoulders are open and collarbones back, good. Now, it's a subtle forward bend and a side bend to the left. Stay facing me. Try rolling your right ribs back towards the wall behind you, opening your heart more towards the ceiling or the sun beyond the ceiling. Excellent. Turn your eyes up to your right arm or fingertips and take a big circle with your right arm and do 3 of those now, but slow, 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 big. Can you draw whatever big circle your right arm can do? It's not quite it's not quite a parallel circle to any surface in the room. It's kind of a diagonal circle. But try to turn your heart with the circle, your eyes with the circle. After 3 of those, or 4, whatever number you've got going there, reach up high and let your right arm pull you up in a way to sitting upright. And then step your right foot back into the center and wag your knees in and out, hands on the knees. Awesome. Step both feet out wide to the sides, get tall in your spine. Lean out, put your elbows on your inner knees and push your knees apart. Can you climb your spine longer, or your heart further out of your hips forward? So you're trying to like lengthen out and almost, you know, jettison or leverage by pushing into your inner thighs. You're leveraging your spine longer, a traction in the spine. Now stay in this forward bend, but take your left hand to your left knee and your elbow is high here. Elbows high, push yourself open to the left, rolling your right shoulder down, your left shoulder up, but you're not sitting up. Try not to sit up. It's a rotation around that forward bending spine. Excellent. Switch sides. Put your left elbow down. Your right hand gets put on your right knee. Right hand up on your right knee there, Roy, and then roll your left shoulder down. Roll your right shoulder to the ceiling. Your right elbow's high over your right wrist. Roll that right shoulder, right elbow forward to get the leverage to push down on the right knee. I know it's hard. I know, and this rotational spine is some of the hardest stuff we do, or hardest stuff to access, I should say. Turn back to face the floor with both elbows. Push those knees wide. Maybe you walk your hands to the floor if you're not going to fall out of your chair, or even further down, hands to the legs of the chair. What suits your forward bend as deep as you can go now. Again, take a couple longer breaths with beats that you're noticing between the inhale and exhale. It's almost like a timeless moment there, a pause between the flow of time in your body of inhales and exhales that is the marking out of moments. That beat is suspension. Gently sit up without getting dizzy. Keep breathing, please. Step your feet back to the center. Once you're upright, rock left and right again on your sitting bones. Good. And then extend your left leg right in front of you. Get tall in your spine. I'm just going to model for the side view here, long spine. Get that long low back. Reach your low back to your heart. Reach it out towards your heart. Forward fold with your pelvis, and your heart follows, and then your head follows that. Hamstring stretch is where we're going, obviously, here. Pulling your toes back. Make sure that left foot is squarely reaching or pulling back. It's both reaching forward and pulling the toes back, but square to the wall in front of you. So, meaning that your left big toe, for example, is not pulling back towards your face any more than your left pinky toe. So reaching long, mostly we will tend to sickle the foot and collapse the leg externally, and that will circumvent the actual stretch. So I want your left foot to be squarely facing and reaching forward, and your kneecap largely trying to face the ceiling at the same time. Three nice breaths there. Do try to exhale fully. Even if you're exhaling through your mouth, you don't have to exhale through the mouth. Always inhale through your nose, in our practice at least. But if you exhale fully, you might feel that end range of hamstring stretch at the very end of your exhale. And sit up. We're going to leave that leg out there and lean back. Your left leg will be long. Lean against the back of your chair. Take your arms back. Reach back. Your right foot solid on the ground. Take your left knee up. Reach your hands to your left foot like you're trying to tie your shoe or put on a sock. Inhale, reach the left leg long and reach your arms behind you. Exhale, draw your left knee in and reach beyond your left foot if you can. Inhale, reach long, leg long. Exhale, squeeze the chest, belly, knee to chest. Inhale, reach long. Can we do 3 full exhales as you squeeze? Inhale, reach long. Exhale fully as you squeeze. Inhale, reach long. Exhale fully as you squeeze. I think this is the last one. Inhale, reach long. Exhale fully as you squeeze. Hold this now. Hold this for a moment. Maybe your breath is held out. Release the leg. Wag your knees in and out. Rest for a moment. Hands could be wherever they want to be. Go wide with your legs, wide with your arms. Open up. Spread eagle pose on your chair. Full breaths. So we're ever cleansing or clearing the system with our breath. Release your hands down to the chair, step your feet back to the floor, sit upright. Extend your right leg forward with your toes back, lengthen up your spine. Now it can also be helpful, I've never, or I rarely mention this, but your hands could be behind the chair to help you lengthen that low back. So this could be the first step, is to try and push your low back long, or push length into your spine with your hands, and then add the fold. So feel free to play with that, but do fold eventually towards your right leg. Toes are pulling back. You're, again, keeping that right foot square to the front end. It could be a change in the whole body, could occur in millimeters of the shift of the foot. If your foot is squarely reaching forward, think of reaching the inseam of your right leg forward through the instep of your right foot, through the big toe mound straight forward. Not so much that it's turned out, but the sole of the foot will tend to turn towards the left, say, with your right foot. So try and square that right foot straight as though it's pushing right against a wall evenly. The right big toe mound and the right pinky toe mound pushing evenly at the same time forward. Give it nice 3 long breaths again, and the full exhale to notice the end range of your exhale may squeeze and offer the end range of your hamstring stretch. Part of that's just because your belly's hugging into your back to exhale more breath out, which can drastically change your hamstring stretch. And inhale, leave the leg back out, leave the leg out there rather, and lean back. So your right leg is long, you're leaning against the back of your chair, reach your arms back as well. Elongate that line, maybe even point your right toes just to feel that full length along the front body. Big inhale there. Exhale, draw your right knee in, reach your hands beyond your foot if you can, or try to reach them beyond your foot. Inhale, reach long. Open up, exhale, full breath out. As you squeeze. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, squeeze, and full breath out. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, draw the knee in, full breath out. We're gonna do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze and pump. Inhale, reach. Last one, exhale and hold it out as best you can for as long as it's interesting. And release the leg, wag your knees in and out. Great. Push your way back upright. Nice. Let's march our knees in an upright seat here. And if you can stay upright, please do, and grab your right knee and pull it to your chest and lengthen your spine. So try and use the knee as leverage to get your chest upright over your hips, but also use the strong back muscles to pull the knee closer by hugging your elbows in and rolling your shoulder blades together in your back. Shoulders are down your back. Hold this, hold this. It's going to get closer, and shoulders are down the back. Circle your right ankle. Good. Switch sides. Draw your left knee up. Left knee to chest. Circle your ankles. Shoulders are down your back. Staying upright as best you can, or helping sort of, certainly there's some balance involved, but it's about the right foot solid on the ground. The left knee is pulling up your arms. It's kind of, you're leveraging your body against itself to get the tall spine. Release that leg. Now cross your right knee if you can over the left, or your ankle. Stay upright though. So Roy, I'm gonna, as always, go for shins instead of knee, and it's the right on top of the left. Right shin on top of left, or right knee on top of left. Sit up tall. I do want you upright. So switch the legs there, Roy, if you can. I appreciate you putting the screen so that I can see you, but then I have to, try and stay on your case as well. So get tall in your spine. If that knee can cross and you can sit upright, yeah? So I don't want this knee crossed and you're back here and trying to sit up. Get tall and then cross whatever you can. Now we're gonna go for twisting here. So we'll do a little vinyasa of twist. So leave your left hand on the front and turn your chest to the right for a moment. And then turn back to the center. Place your right hand on the front knees, left hand around the side, and turn left for a moment. And then back and forth this way. Left hand comes to the right knee, chest turns to the right, right hand walks around. And then right hand comes to the left knee and turn your chest to the left. Let's try this one more time. Turn to the right. Your left hand is forward, right hand to the side of the chair. And then right hand is forward, left hand is to the side of the chair. Turn right now and stay turned right for several breaths here. So your right knee's on top or shin is on top, your spine is tall, your left hand is forward, your right hand is around the side. You're looking over your right shoulder. If you like, reach your right arm straight to the wall behind you, but don't do it so that you lean back to reach for it. Stay upright. Your left arm could also go straight, so from the side, it can look like this. The left arm, the back of the arm on the outer legs, the right arm behind you. Or even the arms are in complete diagonal reach from each other. So the left arm might start to slide down. You stay twisting as you reach the right arm up and the left arm down. So there could be a subtle forward bend with this twist, but do keep it a twist. Make sure you're not turning out of the twist in order to forward bend. Good. Sit back up. Uncross your legs. Go wide. Even with your feet wide, wag your knees towards and away from each other. Release those outer hips and other things. Great. Step your feet back to the center. Either cross your left shin on top of the right or your left knee on top of the right. But whatever you do, make sure you are sitting upright. Yeah. Nice. We'll do essentially the same vinyasa or flow between two poses. Right hand on the front knee, left hand around the side. Look over your left shoulder for a beat. And then walk your left hand to the right knee and right hand around the side to twist to the right for a beat. And back and forth, gently turning left and right, legs crossed. Do it slow. I'm going to leave you to do, I don't know, 3 more. But do try turning all the way. Walk your hands around. Your left hand forward, right around to the back. Right hand forward, left around to the back. So Pete, I'm seeing, can you turn, give yourself some twists with these legs crossed. Twist your chest one way, then twist your chest the other way. There it is, Pete. Yep, good. Very good. When you turn left the next time, stay turning left. Again, feel free to take your left arm and reach it behind you as far as you can at the height of the shoulder. Like you're just like you're a gate opening to the left. Your right arm might be now on the outsides of the legs and also straight and reaching a little as you, if you like, lean slightly forward, but keep that twist. So maybe you add an inch or so in a forward lean and then open up the twist to the left more and then forward lean a little towards the right ribs towards the legs and open your left ribs back a little. So gently encourage more twist into the forward bend or more forward bend into the twist. Back and forth. Another breath there. So in these, twisting poses, there's not a lot of room for breath, and that's okay. That helps stretch it out. Good. Sit back up. Uncross your legs. Put them out wide. Get tall in your spine. Take your knees in and out. One more forward bend, but just neutral, feet together, forward bend. So feet are narrow. I shouldn't say they don't have to be together, but just like what's a stable hip width distance for your feet, long spine. If you want to fold down and rest your chest on your legs, go for it. Otherwise, elbows on knees. No matter where you go, elongate the back of your neck and look at least at your shins or even at the chair underneath you, so your neck is nice and long. And as I often say in this forward bend, we're breathing into our back. Can your inhales really expand your back? Try to rest here for 3 more breaths. Nice big breaths. Maybe again, there's a beat between each inhale and exhale, and each exhale and inhale. And lift your eyes, sit up when you're ready. Breathe, sit up. Take your hands to your heart, actually. We'll close our eyes. Take a quick scan of your body and your mental activity and your feelings. Maybe noticing what difference there is from the beginning of class to now. Not even needing it to be better or worse or just different or whatever. Maybe it's, I highly doubt it's exactly the same though. And open your eyes. We're going to stand up. Either step your feet behind your knees a little bit and go to a squat to stand if you're available to that. If you want to practice other techniques of standing, please do the ones that are good practice for you, which I'm not going to go over today, but give you an opportunity to get upright, please, and stand. If you're sitting and want to stay seated, that's absolutely fine as well. Let's see if I have enough room here for all of me. Good. Get a chair in front of you, or for now, you may not need a chair in front of you, but it's fine. Put your hands on your hips if you're available to not using your chair, and just shift your weight left and right. And let's use those knees, bending a little bit left to right, to shift your weight. Yeah, so consider this squatting to the right and then squatting to the left. Yeah, straightening out the other leg. So straightening out your left leg when you're squatting right, straightening out your right leg when you're squatting left. Now come to center and squat in the center. And we'll basically do the opposite, which means we're launching left, we're straightening up the leg that we're putting our weight over, and then squatting center. And then launching right, straightening everything, and then squatting center. We're squatting in the center and straightening to the sides. Squat center, straighten right, squat center, straighten left. Your hands can be on your hips or the chair, please. If you need that chair, please use the chair as always, as your balance is being practiced here, right? So we're, now I'm gonna switch it back to the first thing. We'll be straight in the center, squat right, straight in the center, squat left. So back to the opposite weight shift. So making this fluid as you like, keeping your knees safe, of course. Your toes could be slightly turned out if your knees turn out, yeah. And then come to center and squat, straighten up to the left, squat center, straighten up to the right, squat center. So the opposite, yeah. As we do this now, can we launch and reach? So take your left arm up to the left as you launch left. Hold that. Yep, back to center, launch right. Very good. Your hand could be on the left hand could be on the chair. If you're not needing the chair, send your left arm down to the left as you reach your right arm up to the right. Squat center. Your hands could go to center or to the chair. Reach left, launch left. Excellent. Squat center, launch right. Squat center, launch right. Ah, gotcha. Nice. Squat center, launch left. Squat center, launch left. Good, squat center. All right, stand up. Now we'll do, again, shift your weight, squatting to the left, squatting to the right. If your feet need to be a little wider, what we're gonna do now is rotate, as we often do, towards the leg that's, so you're squatting right, but you're rotating to face left. Vice versa, squatting left, rotate to face right or whatever, right? So whatever, you don't have to be doing the same pattern exactly as I'm doing, but do the same movements, do the same adjust weight shift. So you're squatting right, but facing left. And this is really pretty much like it's not exact opposites, but it's a lot of different things compared to those launchings, yeah? And this rotation stuff is real challenges to the nervous system, right? So don't just get into a pattern and keep going. I want you to find, are you doing, right? So come back to center and face forward. Now we're gonna do even a different thing. So instead of squatting and turning away from the leg that we're squatting at, we're gonna turn towards the squat, which means basically a lunge. So lunge left, reach left, turning your toes a little, yep. Back to center, standing straight legs, turn your right leg, lunge right, reach right. Awesome. Back to center, turn your toes center. Turn your left toes, lunge left, reach. Very good. Back to center. Again, those knees need to be cared for, so do turn your knees, turn your toes, go as deep as you can. Even here, my demonstration is, I feel a little off. I just want to make sure there's not a ton of knee beyond heel. So if you're lunging and your feet are narrow, you're not going to lunge very much. Try and get your knees wide, feet wide, then you can lunge deeper if that's available, yeah? All right, come back to center, straighten out the right leg, turn the toes left, lunge left, reach left. Very nice. Back to center, turn your feet parallel. Now, we'll stay wide with the legs. Can you step your feet any wider, but turn your heels in, your knees out, toes out, squat into the full goddess type pose here. So this is a wider leg position if we can. Horse stance, and let the horse be as big as you can allow it to be. Maybe it's an elephant, I don't know. Rock left and right, staying low. So now we're staying in the squat, just putting our weight into different amounts at left and right. Your spine is upright as best you can. Shoulders are back, relaxed jaw. Good, Roy, a little bit more upright, but just keep those legs. I know those knees, you want to be careful with your knees. Come to center. Now, see if we can stay in the squat and lift the left heel. So you're up on tiptoes, the left heel. Drop your heel down, lift your right heel. Stay in the squat, drop your right heel. Lift your left heel. Drop your left, lift your right. Drop your right. Lift your left. See if you can lift your right. Drop your left, drop your right. Lift your right. Maybe lift your left. Your hands are on the chair for balance. Maybe you're practicing without hands, but not always. Drop your right, drop your left. Go up with both heels at once. See if you can lift the heels, drop the heels, lift the heels, drop the heels. Notice my pelvis isn't coming up. I'm working my thighs here a lot. It's like I'm tapping my heels, working those calves and thighs and hamstrings. This comes from one of my yoga teachers who's an Indian dance teacher as well. Go ahead and stand back up. Walk your feet back into center. Nobody's on the ground as far as I can see. I mean, everyone's standing and not falling. That's good. Step your feet to center and squeeze your heels towards your buttocks. Work out those thighs and hamstrings we just did. Now, if it's available, if you can move that chair to your right, put it on your right side. So your right hand's on the chair. Your left hand's on your hip. And you're still facing me, so you don't have to turn and look at me over your shoulder, for example. So I want you to face me as best you can. Now, again, if it's available, if that chair would rather be, or if you want to, you need two hands on something, Bring in 2 chairs or put a walker in front of you with room for your knees. Take your left hand to your hip, march your knees. See if you can get those knees nice and high, squeezing towards your chest without leaning your chest back. Again, maybe it's the idea that there's a beach ball that's, I don't know, attached to your chest. You're trying to touch the beach ball with your knees or even compress it against your chest. Yeah, so it's a subtle, like I'm barely leaning forward, but I'm certainly not leaning back. So deep crunches there. When you get your left knee up the next time, keep it up. Good, sweep your left knee left and right. Your right hand's on that chair for stability as needed. Now some of you may be available to practicing your both hands on your hips as you sweep this knee left and right. This is not about judging quality of person. It's just what's going to be a challenge. Where do you, hopefully your right hip, I'm getting some burn in my right hip now as I sweep my left knee. Good. Take the knee out wide. Now, with the left knee out wide, can we just dip the toes into an imaginary bucket, lift the toes out of the bucket, back and forth here, standing tall on the right leg. Like we're trying to touch our foot in the bucket and lift it back out. That's all. A lot of work. Good. Turn your left knee back to center, step it down, shake off whatever work you just did. Maybe your hips go in circles. Yeah. Good. Lift your right knee. Turn your right knee a little off to the right. If your right knee runs into the chair, square your hips back to center, first of all, because it might be that you turn your hips. See if that chair can be available as you stand in tree pose with your right hand on the chair. If you need a break, you need a break. As always, let's stay tall, practicing tree pose now on your left leg, your right knee a little bit wide, your right foot either on the calf or toes on the ground. Left arm can go to the sky. Good, everyone's facing me. So check that your left hip isn't collapsing out to the left. Lift or hug your left hip in. So imagine whole left side is essentially like against an imaginary wall, and you're trying to push down with your left foot to reach your left fingers higher on that wall. In that sense that we're not leaning away from the wall, we're not leaning towards the wall, and we're not kicking our hip into the wall. We're trying to stay nice and steady straight against the wall. One more reach there, one more breath. Make sure you're not holding your breath as often people do in concentration. That's okay, but again, release that, let that energy keep flowing as the breath goes. Good, release the left hand, step down, shake off that leg, left leg. One more thing, stand with your stable feet here. We will do a side bend towards the right. So 2 options here, and I'm just gonna give them first with the legs. So we're gonna I'm demonstrating, you don't have to do it yet. We're gonna be side bending this way to the right. But you're welcome to keep your feet solid on the ground and do this, or you can take your left leg, step it behind your right and off to the left. Off to the right, sorry. Your left foot off to the right. So you create a little braided legs here or twisted, and then reach your left arm up. So if you feel stable enough to get that, you're gonna get a little bit more stretch, but don't feel like you're missing out too much if your balance is needed with both feet on the floor here and just side bending to the right. So left arm is up, left foot is either behind and to the right of the right foot or not. And you're reaching tall and side bending towards the chair, left arm up. The left hand could even be behind the head as your elbow is high. So I'll just get a little closer to show. Left hand could be behind the head as you push your head into your hand. Turn and look up at your left elbow. So there's a rotation in a spiral, right? Your left foot could be solid on the floor, just like I say though. So I want you all to be safe here. I'm spiraling up out of that. You're all right there, Sue? Okay. Yes, left arm, yes. Okay, go ahead and release that, everybody. Chair comes around. Let's do a forward bend before we go to the other side. So you could bring the chair forward, you could turn it sideways. You could not use the chair at all. Step your feet a little back, soften your knees, give yourself a forward bend. We're not gonna be here super long, but don't cut it short either.
So take 2, 3 long breaths in your forward bend, not to get dizzy, but stable on your feet. Make sure you're plugging down. Your weight is over your feet, not into the chair. Whenever you come up from a forward bend, bend your knees first. Drop your hips a little bit before you start to lift your chest. So your knees are bent when you come up, and that keeps your low back from overstraining. Yeah. Once you stand up, turn your chair to the other side. Left hand on the chair, right hand on your hip. Now, everybody in class today is standing, so I'm not giving a lot of directions for folks who are seated. Many of these things relatively obvious in how you would translate them to marching your legs chair if you're seated still. So feel free to march your legs here. Your right hand's on your hip, your left hand on the chair, or not even using the chair, hands are on hips, marching slow motion, finding your balance, practicing your challenge of your balance by going slower with the march. And as I'm always reminding myself, every time I go for this kind of marching, I'm always reminding myself, are my hips forward, or maybe they can be pulled slightly back? The hips back really helps the balance. So I have like a daily practice of being in the shower. This isn't the safest place to practice your balance, so don't do it yourself necessarily, but I feel stable enough to do so. Practicing balancing and washing my feet in the shower like this, right? So that's where I check my balance in the morning, is kind of, and almost every time I go for it, I'm thinking pelvis back. I'm not leaning forward to get my leg up. You know, I'm practicing like pulling my hips back and hugging my belly into my back to get my balance. This balance is really centered in the pelvis. So we want to practice where the pelvis is when you practice walking in balance. That hugging the belly into the back. Yeah. All right, we've been here a bit, so go ahead and lift your right knee, sweep it left and right. Your left hand is on the chair or not, right? Practice swinging that right knee around, challenging your left leg balance. And getting a little burn and a little work in that left leg. Your left knee should be soft, so you're not locking the knee out and closing off access to the muscles below and above the knee. Good. Stay another breath or two if you're still here, and it's always fine if you need a break. Good. Take the right knee out. Now we're still here, right? Toes point to the ground. Dip your toes in that imaginary bucket and back out. Lift and lower. Again, if you're getting worked up and you're overwhelmed in your left hip, take a break, whatever you need. But do work yourself into some challenge, some place of discomfort. That's where the potency often is. The next time you dip down, last one, lift your knee back out of the bucket, step your foot to the floor, and lift your left knee so you release that left hip work that so much stability happening on that left hip. Lift your left knee, turn your left foot out, or knee out rather, put your left foot on the inner right calf or on the ground, playing with a more stable tree pose with your left leg up, your right foot down, tall in your spine. Again, your right hip, checking in that it's not collapsed to the right, nor are your hips collapsed forward. Can you pull your hips slightly back without forward bending? Right, so the orientation of this chest to pelvis aspect is really obviously a huge part of where balance happens. So pulling the pelvis back, but not folding the heart forward is a challenge too. Pulling the pelvis back, but not folding the heart forward. Take your right arm up. And also pulling the pelvis back and not locking the right knee. So that's another, trying to figure out how the landmarks in the body can be individually manipulated or controlled or worked with to balance all the parts over each other. Now, check in with your right foot. Is your right foot gripping the ground, pushing down? Do you feel weight evenly throughout the whole right foot, the inner outer edge of the foot, the heel? The right arm is up and lengthening. Just getting taller is often one of the best cues. Can you just get taller? Crown of the head especially. Reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling.
Imagine you're trying to ring a bell with the crown of your head that's hanging off the ceiling. It's just out of reach. Reach the crown of the head a little more. If your balance is stable enough, both arms can go up. Practice another breath or two in your tree pose. Nice and tall, nice and tall. Great, release that out. Shake it off. Final thing that we're doing standing, side bend now. Again, feet solid on the ground. If you're gonna keep it that way, please do, if that feels the safest. If you want, you can reach the right arm up and then step the right foot behind the left foot to the chair side bend to the left. And there's different aspects you'll get if you bend your left knee and reach your right heel more, or straighten out both legs and just push into the right toes. Left foot is always solid on the ground. Get tall, turn your heart a little towards the ceiling. So this is sort of like a twisting reed in a lake or in a gentle river. And release, step out of it. March your knees or forward bend or both. Release some, again, like my low back always wants a little release, so a little hip swivel and a little forward bend is always helpful to release that spine. If forward bend doesn't release your spine, don't worry about it. When you're ready, make your way to the floor. You could do that from this forward bend, or you could do that after you stand up again and then go. Yeah? Find your way to the floor now on your back whenever you're ready. Too much. Once you're on your back, we'll just do a couple simple spinal releases. First, draw your knees to your chest. And if it's possible, hold your kneecaps with your hands and take your knees out wide, circle them away from your shoulders, draw them together, draw them up the midline to your heart. Wide out to the sides, send them away, back together over your pelvis, back up to your heart. Your hands are holding your knees the whole time. Take it slow. Try to receive, like let your legs be heavy. Let your arms do more of the work than your legs, so that you receive the weight of your legs into your pelvis. Go the other way so the knees still circle around the same tracks, but just in the opposite direction. They go together at the heart, down the midline of the body, over the pelvis, widen out over the pelvis, up the sides of the body, back together over the heart, down the midline, widening at the pelvis, back up the sides of the body. Keep your breaths nice and fluid. The next time you get your knees up over your heart, keep them together, curl your nose up towards your knees, try and hug your belly into your back and get into a little egg-shaped ball here. Maybe you roll your shoulders off the ground. Maybe you try and hug everything to the midline, to that belly, the belly and the sternum. Maybe your arms don't help and you reach your arms alongside your legs to add a little more work in your core. Hold this another breath or two if you're still in this egg shape. Release your feet to the floor, your arms alongside your hips. We'll go to bridge now. Feet are on the floor, lift your pelvis up. Open up your heart and your belly here, lifting your pelvis. Shrug your shoulders into the floor. Maybe even walk your elbows closer towards each other under your back. Keep your low back from getting compressed by reaching your tailbone between your legs a bit. Activate your thighs and your glutes, your hamstrings. Keep your feet solid on the ground. You're pushing down into the inner and outer edges of the feet. Go ahead and roll your pelvis back down to the floor. Take your arms wide in a T shape off the shoulders on the floor. Swivel your knees to the right, keeping your arms wide. And let your knees fall right as you turn your eyes left in a supine twist. See if you can relax your legs completely here. You're still turning right with your legs. Your eyes are still turning left. Take another breath or two. Long. Noticing the beats between inhale and exhale, and vice versa. Move your knees the other way. Eyes go the other way. See if you can let your legs rest to the right, to the left as your eyes go right. Just allowing gravity to take over more, resisting gravity less in your body. Noticing the beats. Bring your legs back to center when you feel about even there. If you have any other needs in your body to release, go for those things that would release those tensions or elongate those muscles or whatever it is. You might give an extension to your legs or bicycle the legs to the ceiling. You might stretch your arms long somewhere. When you're ready, release to Shavasana. As always, if your body needs certain support, like chair under your legs, or you want to stay seated, or you've got those things around you that are needed for your support, go ahead and set up and then start to rest. And allow yourself to rest. Sometimes it's hard to allow ourselves to unburden ourselves from so much of what life is busy about. To give ourselves the rest we need in order to engage with that stuff even more potently, or more usefully even. Trust that you need rest. Trust that the rest is worthwhile right now. There's nothing else you need to be doing. Nowhere else to be. No other way to be. There's nothing incomplete here. I'll be here for a few minutes. Just keep resting. Take your time to breathe a little deeper and keep it gentle as you move and stretch, and either make your way to a seat or stay lying down. You might keep your eyes closed just so you stay internally focused wherever you choose to go. But once you've reached a comfortable position, set your hands together at your heart. Take a gentle bow to your heart. Once you're there, breathing, softening. Acknowledge the work you've done here today and the process of opening up to the capacities that your body has of growth and development, learning, and moving energy. And maybe you can find gratitude in there for that opportunity, for that capacity, and also gratitude for what you dedicated your practice to that brightens the spark of your life, that energizes your spirit. And gratitude for community that we build here and among all living things on this planet. We'll chant a final Om in honor of all that. Inhale. I bow to the light in your heart. It's the same light in my heart. Namaste.